We like to drink beer, a lot of it. After a long night of drinking and talking crime and conspiracies, there's nothing that wakes us up and gets us ready to start the day better than Just Brew coffee. With a great selection of roast levels to choose from, you're guaranteed to find one that suits your style. Small batch roasted to highlight the unique features of each coffee bean, Just Brew coffee caters to both casual and hardcore coffee drinkers alike. Since 2010, Just Brew Coffee has worked tirelessly to perfect the roasting process and technique, which has resulted in seriously delicious, always flavorful, and never bitter tasting coffee. If you're already drinking JBC, raise your mug. If you're not, raise your standards. Check them out in social media and remember, they roast, you just brew. Check out their new online store at youjustbrew.com and up your coffee game today.
Today we take our first deep dive into cults by discussing Heaven's Gate, a cult created by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. How did these two lunatics convince their followers that once the time was right, they would all die and their spirits ascend to a UFO? What kind of people decided to give up all their earthly possessions to join this cult? And how did Marshall and several followers manage to physically remove their sexual desires? I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you think Colin Kaepernick is the most controversial figure to ever lace up a pair of Nikes, stick around. We might just change your mind. This is Necronomipod.
We're going to talk to you about the most urgent thing that is on our mind, and what we suspect is the most urgent thing on the minds of those who will connect with us. We'll title this tape Planet Earth About to be Recycled. Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us. Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to survive or evacuate is to leave with us.
All right, guys. So we've dove into serial killers. We've talked a little aliens. We've talked some Mothman conspiracies. We're going to talk about some cults today.
And Ian loves cults. He's a cult aficionado.
I think I like cults more, or I'm into cults more than aliens.
Really?
I was thinking about it today. I was thinking about it real hard, and
I've seen the passion in your eyes when you discuss Betty and Barney Hill.
Yeah.
You're telling me we're going to top that today?
Yeah, probably. I would say so.
Do you consider yourself an expert on the Heaven's Gate cult?
Yes, because
I believe you.
The materials to discuss their beliefs comes directly from the cult, and we'll get into it later how I got my hands on that stuff.
But you're well versed in Heaven's Gate.
Inside information. Excellent.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Heaven's Gate was a cult that mixed the belief of Christianity and the existence of aliens and UFOs into one thing to create their core belief system.
So it's half believable. I mean, the alien part, because Christianity is not believable.
There we go. He's got a million of those, folks. He'll be here all night.
So the cult was started by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles in the 70s. And with cults, especially, with all cults, it basically turns into the members are living inside the leader's head. Like the members end up taking over the leader's personality is basically what happens in almost every cult.
And how do they do that? Oh, we're talking about just persuasive people that just kind of prey on minds that are looking for something.
Right.
And these people are lost and they're looking for something.
Yeah.
And these people are kind of a messiah to them. Right?
And when you get it to the final, I guess like the final form, and they're just being, it's just all cult talk all day long, then they start to take over that personality. Like Jim Jones was a raging dictator,
right,
and very aggressive. And by the end of Guyana, you can listen to the tapes, he turned those people into absolute monsters as far as being aggressive with each other and the punishments and shit. So we'll see how basically this turns into everybody's thinking like Marshall Applewhite, and that's it.
No free thought left.
So Marshall Applewhite was born May 17th, 1931, to Marshall Applewhite Sr. and Louise Applewhite. His father was a Presbyterian minister.
Oh, again with the preacher's kid. This just never turns out well.
There was someone we covered recently that had a preacher for a father, didn't we? Or was I just reading shit on the internet?
I mean, with as much research as you do,
I believe that was the band Children of God episode that we
yeah.
probably can never
that won't be
let see
released
the
for a
light
while.
of day.
That won't be released for a while. But I'll tell you right now, evangelical West Virginians are going to have it out for Dave after the last couple weeks. So watch your back, man.
So he became very religious at an early age. After high school, he attended Austin College, and he was said to be really active in student groups, and especially the religious ones. And he earned a bachelor's degree in philosophy, and then he enrolled at the Union Presbyterian Seminary in hopes of becoming a minister, like his dad.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and around this time, Marshall met his wife, Ann Pierce, and they had 2 children, his son Mark and his daughter Lane. Early into his schooling to become a minister, he decided to leave to pursue a career in music, and he became the music director for a Presbyterian church in North Carolina until he was drafted into the Army in 1952. He was honorably discharged in 1956, and then he enrolled in the University of Colorado and got a master's degree in music. And then he moved to New York City shortly after to try and get on Broadway, but didn't work out.
Couldn't act, couldn't dance, couldn't sing.
He was...
His performance of Cats was lackluster.
Everything I read said he was an awesome singer, but
Really?
he didn't cut it for Broadway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You can see, we'll get to it in a little bit, but in some of the research, the little research that I did, he's charismatic.
Oh, you got to be a cult
You
leader.
can tell he's a bit of a showman.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later, though.
So, and then after the Broadway attempt, he found a job at the University of Alabama teaching music, but his career there didn't last long because he was fired for having an affair with a male student.
You're not in New York City anymore. I don't know that goes over very well in Alabama.
Yeah, they were not thrilled.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think sleeping with a student goes over well anywhere, let alone a gay relationship in Alabama
Yeah,
in the 50s.
Yeah. That's a tough time.
And after his wife learned of the affair, they quickly separated. She left him, and then they were officially divorced in 1965. And as far as I know, he never saw his kids again.
How old were they at this point? I couldn't imagine that.
How old were his kids?
Yeah,
I'm not sure when they were born, actually.
but still young kids.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
just walking or just cutting ties with them. That's it.
After his divorce, he moved back to Texas and found a job teaching music at the University of St. Thomas. By all accounts, he was a great teacher there, but he resigned in 1970 due to depression.
He's having a rough go at it, this guy.
Yeah, and I saw some people, when I was looking up stuff, thought that he had another affair with a male student, and it was actually, I think they let him say depression instead of...
Let
Kinda give him
him
more-
resign.
I guess not really a graceful exit, but more than just being like, hey, you're out of here for
Right.
sleeping with a student. I don't think, depression's not necessarily something that people are going to brag about.
Right. He briefly moved to New Mexico, but went back to Texas again in 1971, around the time his father passed away. And they said that he took that super hard. And actually,
He was close with his parents then?
yeah, and actually did become depressed. With the depression and everything, in 1972, he met Bonnie Nettles, and they would ultimately form this group together. But there's multiple accounts of how they met. The common one you find is that he checked himself into a mental hospital in hopes of curing being gay.
Oh,
Which-
it's awful.
It's not real,
Of course not.
and then she was there as his nurse and started putting these ideas in his head. The other...
The cult ideas?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Well, the UFO ideas, because he never was into this stuff before he met her. She's kind of the
Interesting.
reason for all of this.
She's the true villain of the story. Like every story we've told, it's the woman that's the villain.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm kidding.
No, I wasn't going to
kidding.
say that. I was saying with all big cult leaders, there's always a woman
Really?
behind there. Either,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I mean, well, and they're not always bad. Marcelyn Jones, Jim Jones' wife, was loosely holding that ship together, holding that together.
So what Mike's saying is behind every bad man, there's a worse woman. That's what I take
I think
away.
we just developed our first Necronomicon t-shirt.
Bam. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's either a good, a woman that's trying to do good things like Marceline Jones, or you get Bonnie Nettles.
It's so weird. So if these two people would have never met, then
This would have
This
never
would've
happened.
never happened.
Yeah. In Marshall's writings that they had found, he states that he was visiting a friend at the hospital and Bonnie was the nurse taking care of him. Now, Terry Nettles, her daughter, said that they met at drama school, that Marshall was teaching a class and her brother was attending it. So Bonnie's son was attending this school.
So you got all kinds of
You
different
don't really
stories going
know
on.
because when I was looking into Bonnie Nettles, you couldn't find what hospital she worked for. So there's like no, at least that I could find. I mean, if somebody else finds that, feel free to correct me because I'm interested.
yeah.
But I couldn't find where she actually worked.
Do we actually know she worked at a hospital?
There's a picture of her online in like the old like 50s, 60s nursing outfit. So she was a nurse.
Maybe we'll tweet out that photo.
Regardless of how they met, if they met if he really did check himself into a hospital and then she started putting these thoughts in his head, like these ideas,
Yeah.
that makes it that's just a crazy level to me. If you check yourself into a mental hospital and
the nurse
and then
instills these wacky ideas into your head.
yeah, she's like whispering over to you like you're a special person and all this stuff.
I mean, that's exactly what she wants to find, is someone that she
Right.
can just manipulate.
Well, and so she was real into like psychics, astrology. She was
All that scientific stuff.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was real into UFOs, but like on an unhealthy level into UFOs. Like her daughter said like she would take her out back all the time, like hope they would get abducted by aliens.
I saw
and
that
stuff.
video. Yeah. Doing
Yeah.
research. Yeah. They stand out in their backyard and wish that the aliens would abduct them.
People of Heaven's Gate.
No,
cult-
Bonnie
Bonnie
Nettle.
and her daughter.
But you saw the video of Bonnie and her daughter?
It was a documentary on Heaven's Gate. Yeah. It was interviews with her daughter later. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a difference of being into UFOs like I am, and then
Like, you don't want to get abducted.
no, but I mean, like that's super unhealthy to like.
Well, yeah.
That would be like if I was telling Michael all the time, like, let's go get abducted, man.
Right.
Let's go. It's weird.
They're coming tonight. We're going outside. They're
the big
taking
one.
us.
Right. But she said that around the time that she met Marshall, however it happened, that she met a psychic that told her she would soon meet a tall, mysterious man with light hair, and she took that as being Marshall Applewhite.
Oh, boy. So if the psychic would have just said, you'll meet a short, fat, fucking bald guy, none of this stuff would have ever happened.
Pretty much, yeah.
Great. Thanks, psychic. Awesome.
And as she was getting super close with Marshall, her behavior got more and more strange, and it ultimately led to her getting divorced and losing custody of all her kids.
So both of them just gave up a life with the family and kids.
Yeah.
For this cult.
Soon after her divorce, her and Marshall started living together, and they maintained a non-sexual relationship that was just based on spirituality.
Oh, so it's like most marriages.
You beat me to it. I was
Was that what you were going to say?
No, I was going to say that's the best relationships. Who doesn't strive for that?
So much fun. All the yelling, none of the getting off. It's great.
Some people that have like written books and stuff and looked into this whole thing think that Bonnie was responsible for everything, like every delusional thought that Marshall had. Some say that it was kind of mutual. Regardless, she was putting weird thoughts into his head right off the bat.
Well, because he wasn't into the UFOs, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
So
he
she got
had an
around that path.
extremely close connection to her, so I'm sure he listened to anything that she had to say. They briefly opened a bookstore called the Christian Art Center, but left town in 1973 to go spread their beliefs to other people. Their belief system, at this time, it wasn't clear what exactly it was that they were spreading around. And it didn't seem to merge the UFOs and Christianity together just yet. And during these travels, because neither of them had jobs, they just kind of took off. They sold their blood and camped out a lot.
So
gotta
they
do
name
what
it like
you
the
gotta do.
plasma tent cult or something. It might have been better. That sounds terrific.
Why didn't old Marshall give up any semen for money? Wasn't allowed to come, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
They'll adopt those rules at some point, right?
Oh, yeah.
The no coming rules.
Yeah. You're going to learn all about it.
But they spent 73, for the most part, discussing the Bible and the belief in aliens more than actually spreading their beliefs. And in 74, they came to an agreement, I guess you would call it, on what the belief system would be.
So do you think they're trying to come up with a way to scam people?
I was literally just going to ask that.
Or are they just fucked up? Like, it's just weird that you think through this, you try to come up with a belief system. Like, you don't normally have to...
They could poke holes in this. Well, what works this way? Like,
Yeah,
they're
it's
just
just
brainstorming.
weird.
They already don't have any money. Like, are they scheming? Or are they
mentally
so
ill?
delusional
Yeah.
that they believe this? Or she believes it and she's convincing him.
Yeah, I think that Bonnie Nettles had some form of a mental illness.
Right.
And Marshall Applewhite was looking for, he was ashamed of being gay, was really seeking out a non-sexual relationship with somebody. Sex was a thing to be ashamed of for him.
Sure.
So when he found this person, it was like, here it is. Like, you know, the connection's been made. And
Right.
then she starts putting all this stuff in his head. And he's like,
So he's
good.
got what he's looking for.
Yeah. And he already had the religious background.
Yeah.
So it's not far from if she was telling him, like, oh, you know, putting the UFO stuff in and it just clicked with him. I don't know. So the belief system went like this initially. They believed they had been chosen to fill biblical prophecies and had been given higher level minds than anybody else.
People like this always think they're smarter than everyone
Right.
else. That's so ridiculous.
They preached that they were the two witnesses described in the book of Revelation. When speaking about their beliefs, they referred to themselves as the two, or sometimes the UFO two. The prophecy they foretold is that they would be killed, resurrected for the whole world to see, and then would be transported to a UFO, reaching the level above human.
The level of above human. Always trying to get there.
So
This guy's a jackass.
So the is there, other than, how does it tie into with the book of Revelation then? Other than just the two, what is it? What was
the two witnesses?
the two witnesses? Like, how did they come up with like this little story? What was taken from the Bible? What, or was this literally just what they conjured out of thin air?
It sounds like it completely came out of thin air. You would know more about the book of Revelation than I
our
do.
resident Bible expert.
Wow.
What
I did have a fine Catholic upbringing.
the two witnesses. I mean, I'm not completely sure. I know that, I mean, we'll see that everything with them goes back to being just the two of them.
All right. Does Revelations specifically state there's two witnesses? Like, I don't recall that.
I don't recall ever hearing that.
I don't know
but
the
at the
context
same
around
time, I
that.
very could have easily not been paying attention that day.
And they could have just made, I mean, they very well just could have made it up. I mean, who knows?
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the initial basic belief. In August 74, Marshall was arrested for failing to return a car that they had rented in Missouri, and he was put in jail for 6 months.
So he wasn't the level above human. He was the level above car thief. Okay, it's going great so far. This is Cult 101. You don't get arrested for not returning rental cars.
It is Cult 101, though, for real. Every cult leader fails miserably.
Right.
And it's like this
Exactly.
failure upon failure, and then all of a sudden, they
Boom.
just figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was it with serial killers that you had said they're really bad liars?
Pathological
thieves?
liars.
They're
and
pathological
and
liars
thieves.
and thieves.
And they're bad at both.
And they're bad
usually.
at both. So, and maybe with cult leaders, they're bad at other things, and then one day it clicks for them, and they realize they can convince an army of people to follow them.
They are really similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sociopaths. All
Yeah.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting.
During his time in jail, he started to focus more on the alien aspect of the belief system that they came up with. And he also started to believe that aliens had placed humans on Earth and would eventually return to take a select few with them.
I don't know. That I can get into. That sounds great. How does Jesus fit in there? We're just
Maybe
taking the whole
maybe Jesus
Christianity
was an
piece
alien.
out.
maybe he was an alien.
Maybe Jesus was an alien.
Now, this is sounding better.
This is something your teachers never told
No,
you?
I'm liking this. Catholic school, we didn't cover this.
After his release from jail, he and Bonnie set out to contact people who believed in aliens and had similar beliefs to them. So they started to hold actual meetings where they would try and recruit followers, and at these meetings they claimed to represent beings from another planet. So they were speaking for the aliens.
Well, that would have been a fun meeting to go to.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So they would just say like, oh, we know what they're saying.
Yeah.
We're gonna speak, or they're like speaking through us. Like,
It sounded like aliens were giving them the message to then put out to other people.
alien / Jesus.
Yeah.
Betty Hill should have got in on some of that.
Well, but Dave, she was drug addict.
You cannot malign Betty Hill in every podcast. It's offensive. I'm not going to stand
I
for
didn't
it.
bring her up this time.
I really think you have shit on Betty every episode so far.
Fucking outrageous.
The message that they were putting out to people that the aliens were telling them was they were looking for participants for an experiment. And they were saying that willing participants for the experiment would reach a higher state of evolution, the level above human.
Which we all strive to be.
Like
Yeah,
Rob
I mean-
Zombie said, more human than human, right?
I guess so. I mean, one person in our day and age is a level above human, and we all know that's Tom Brady. Other than that, that's it. That is it, right? Greatest professional football player of all time. 6 Super Bowls.
You have this thing for Tom Brady.
He's just the best. I didn't like him until I accepted that he's the greatest of all time. And then it's like a warm blanket. You just know it. He's a level above human.
Fuck Tom Brady.
Let us know what you think about Tom Brady.
So Marshall was the primary speaker at these things, and Bonnie only spoke to like back him up or correct things every once in a while, but mainly
She wasn't much of like a showman. She didn't have the charisma that old Marshall had.
No, she only, like I said, she would just, jump in to kind of just clarify whatever he was saying, like.
Well, so when he got himself into a corner
Yeah,
that
she
he
would-
couldn't get out of, she'd come weasel him out of it.
yeah.
Which is probably pretty easy when you're selling this kind of nonsense.
And at that time, they were called Human Individual Metamorphosis.
That's a mouthful.
Or him for short.
That's what I
Not a good cult name.
Yeah.
Too hard to say.
Yeah.
These guys are doing it all wrong.
They're off to a rocky start. We'll leave it at that. We'll give them that much.
They started to send advertisements to multiple groups, just trying to get anywhere to listen to their message.
Let's get their word out.
Yeah.
See what they can get.
April 75, they were invited to speak to members of the New Age group, which they would be super receptive to this. Like the New Age people were all, crystals and the whole deal. And I'm not maligning anybody that believes in crystals. I mean, you do you. I have a bunch, but you can also buy them at Packetans and shit like that. You know what I mean?
What are crystals supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know anything about
I
Is
this.
this chakra stuff and that kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have a crystal skull. I love it. But I mean,
You don't think it does anything, do you?
personally, no.
Is that like what the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Is that any? That's my only.
I've never seen any of the Indiana Jones movies. so-
What?
Yeah.
That's offensive in and of itself.
I've never seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it's got Shia LaBeouf, so why would I? But you've not seen an Indiana Jones?
No.
Do you know who Harrison Ford is?
Yes.
Okay. That's a fair question.
He's a
given your-
contemporary of Richard Gere.
Yeah. Real quick on crystal skulls, I definitely want to do an episode on those. They're really cool and interesting. Not my crystal skull, but like old ones from forever ago that people have found throughout, different places. And
Can we at least put out a
in the
picture
world.
of your crystal skull?
Sure. I'm very proud of it.
One of our followers posted a picture of him eating out of a skull cereal bowl the other day. That was pretty impressive. I love it.
Very cool. The New Age people, like I said, super receptive to this. And at that time, from that meeting, 25 people ended up leaving to go follow them.
Do we know, was it like a big meeting?
I don't
Or
know.
was it a small, that like 25 people was like a good majority of them? Or
Yeah, was it the whole group?
yeah, like I didn't know if
Yeah, I don't know how big.
But I guess still 25 people when you're going from 2 to 25 is a pretty big jump.
Yeah,
Like, fuck this New Age stuff. The alien Jesus stuff sounds way better.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah. And then in September 75, they convinced another 30 people just to straight up and leave their lives to go follow them, which got them negative media coverage. Because at this time, the Concerned Relatives group was starting to go hard on Jim Jones in the People's Temple. They really kicked it up in 77, but they were still speaking out at this time. So cults were kind of getting...
Cults in general were kind of getting a negative perception.
Yeah. At some point in 75, Marshall and Bonnie took the names Bo and Peep.
Naturally.
These names that they came up with are wild. And they were seeing themselves as shepherds leading, at this time, with 70 people. I felt like reading that was like really blatant. Like, you're calling yourself Bo and Peep, and you're saying you're leading people like you're a shepherd. I mean, that's just... I felt like that was like
But
really...
wasn't Bo Peep a sheep? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah?
I don't
Like
know.
little Bo Peep, isn't that a sheep? Not a shepherd.
I don't know the... I mean, I know what you're referencing. I don't know what is the nursery rhyme?
Yeah.
It's not my forte.
I just felt that it was like blatant, like pretty
Yeah,
much
but
saying
I mean-
everybody is just following them blindly.
I feel like a lot of this stuff is blatantly absurd in many ways.
yeah.
But if you want to believe something, you're going to believe it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also easier for us in retrospect, looking back, being like, how did these people not see it? You know,
Right.
but when you're looking for something and you're charismatic and it's being sold to you well, like Marshall was doing, then, you know,
Yeah.
guess they bought into it.
So they start to get into more of your typical cult practices. They emphasize complete removal of material, earthly desires, requiring members to cut ties with friends, family, any media like TV, radio, drugs, alcohol, jewelry, facial hair, and sexuality.
You lost me at alcohol. I'm out.
That sounds really
I was
fun.
all in on this, and then you said no alcohol and facial hair. The three of us would be screwed.
Oh
We'd all
yeah.
have to shave.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't like my face without any facial hair, so I would be...
No, please. With all this beer I drink, I'm bloated as shit.
There's no fringe benefits to this cult. They've removed
I mean,
every ounce of joy from your life. I don't understand this.
But you can be a level above human, Dave.
What kind of person do you think goes for this kind?
I think just
I
somebody...
was going to ask that.
The two cults I know the most about would be Heaven's Gate and Jim Jones. And I think this is people that are really looking for something, looking for some answers in life. Or
Just completely lost?
Just lost and just looking for
So
something.
These are people that might find religion. Instead, though, they find...
This. And it's
Like this.
maybe they... I mean, obviously these people were already into aliens. That's what probably, you know...
I don't know
Well,
that
why do
this
you
is
think,
any...
obviously? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
Well, I mean, if you weren't into aliens, I don't think you would
But neither
buy
was
this
Marshall
shit.
necessarily.
Well, yeah.
And he got... Like, do you think maybe that they're just looking for something, like some kind of higher power to tell them, and then they're just going to kind of dive into it and can be taught to believe all this?
There's speculation too that Marshall was mentally ill to some degree and was having delusional thoughts, and then she just came in and
He's
started.
a creepy dude.
Yeah.
I don't... The initiation tapes, and we'll put those out that you sent us, they're creepy to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, he's just...
yeah, they're tough.
Yeah, so it's like a 10-part thing, I think, on YouTube, but we'll tweet that out so everyone can check those out. Just don't stare directly into his eyes. You'll become a member.
What I was saying too about like this was lost people looking for something, and then the whole other side of it was Jonestown. It was people that truly believed in social equality and thought they were doing good.
Yeah.
Like
and it just
generally doing
morphed
good.
into something terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So it's like two different ends of it.
Yeah.
They furthered the whole cult, practices, and told members that they had to change their names to 2-syllable names that ended in Odie and had 3 consonants in the first syllable. And the reason for this was that these new names showed that the followers were spiritual children.
That literally means nothing.
And this also still makes no sense to me.
It's confusing as fuck.
Change their names to a 2-syllable name that ended in Odie and had 3 consonants in the first syllable. Odie in itself is a 2-syllable word, is it not?
Yeah, look, the guy's not a deep thinker.
So you're already...
He made a mistake.
So if your name is just simply Odie, you're already at a 2-syllable word. Plus you need 3 consonants before that. That's my biggest beef with them
you're
so
not
far
wrong.
is fuck you and your name and this name game they're playing here.
The only one, I mean, they all had the name, but the one that always sticks out to me for whatever reason that I always remembered is Riccody, which was RKKODY. And the other one is Jamody, was JMMODY.
They should have taken like Wu-Tang names, like RZA Odie, something cool at least. This
go.
dumb fucking cult.
Also in 75, Marshall and Bonnie began to fear that they were going to be assassinated. However, and they predicted that they would, like they threw out like a prophecy that they were going to be.
It's just delusions of grandeur. Like nobody even knows or gives a fuck about these people yet.
Right.
They're under threat of assassination from something.
Get over yourself.
Okay.
You're not that big of a deal.
Right.
So, I mean, when it obviously didn't happen, they said that the negative press coverage they were getting was an assassination, and it fulfilled the prophecy.
We could literally create our own cult by tomorrow. The Necronoma cult. We have like mandatory drinking, fucking beards, UFC, wrestling, but everyone has to give us their money. Like, this is
I think we just
ridiculous.
developed our second t-shirt, Necronomical, and on the back it just literally lists all those things.
That sounds like a thing that I would be all right with joining.
See? That's a cool cult.
You kidding me? Beer, wrestling, UFC, beards. What else did you say?
Fucking.
Okay. Not each other. Women.
I mean, if you want to fuck
You
dudes,
fuck whoever
it's all
you
right.
want in our cult, man. Come
It's
on.
true. I didn't mean to make it sound that way. I just
Pretty
meant
homophobic
us.
of you
Meant
over there, you
us.
asshole.
Meant us. It's right now it's just the 3 of us, so I don't want that.
You're not going to get that. So rest safe, my friend.
So in the beginning of 1976, Marshall and Bonnie switched up their names to T and Doe, and that would be the last. They stuck with T and Doe till the end.
Bo Peep wasn't working.
No.
These guys have more fucking name changes than Prince. T and Doe.
No symbols yet, though, so we're all right.
In June of 76, they gathered their followers to the Medicine Bow National Park in Wyoming to witness a UFO. And obviously, when you can't predict when a UFO is going to come down, I mean, because if I could do that, I would just walk outside and see a UFO and fulfill my life dreams and then come back inside, but can't do that.
Your life dreams.
Did they not think of this in the logistics planning meeting about when they were planning this event?
They gave a much thought to this as they did the syllable name, Dave. So we know how that goes.
There's surprisingly a lot of UFO cults out there that are operating to this day. And I can't think of the real popular one, but this woman that runs it constantly predicts that UFOs will come down. She's never been right, but people still
You
buy
don't
into it.
say.
So, and these cults are just based on what? That
Just
a
a
UFO
similar-
is going to come down.
A similar belief system to
Oh, that's
this.
going to take you up in
Yeah, I mean, I
just
don't know.
various beliefs around that.
Right.
You know what the best UFO cult was? The one in Independence Day when they gathered on the rooftop of that skyscraper and the aliens blew up the building.
Yeah, but you know what? At least there was a UFO. They were proven right. That's also the second time we've referenced that scene of the movie.
I thought of that as I was saying it.
So they canceled the meeting, and to avoid too much questioning from members, like, why the fuck wasn't there a UFO? Why'd you cancel it? They split them into small groups, and they called these groups star clusters.
Aw, you're a star.
And that's another basic cult thing. Usually, I mean, Jonestown didn't do that.
Separate people, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, Jonestown kind of did with like a hierarchy of who was important, you know. But like Children of God separated people like right off the bat.
Isn't that kind of like what cults want to do? Is kind of almost make you internally compete, whether it be like you said with like Jonestown for like a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like, do they not play that up a little bit? Like that the cult leaders like. You need to be the best of your group, so impress me and kind of cause that like internal battles.
Jonestown kind of did that, where it was like Jim Jones would stay up like he would never sleep and always be like constantly working and doing stuff. So then the members, it's like a one up in each other. Like, I slept for 4 hours, and then somebody else was like, I fucking slept for 2 hours. You know, everybody's compete. Yeah, like
That's how it is in every
competing.
organization. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Everybody does that in work and shit.
Sure.
I guess I don't
I
know.
like to sleep. I'm not
Not
trying to
me,
stay
yeah.
up all right.
I don't need
Yeah,
that.
no.
I'm not going to compete with you on staying up.
No,
with the hours you keep.
I stay up till 4 a.m. and then wake back up at 6.
Fuck that.
By the end of 76 through 79, they lived on campgrounds in the Rocky Mountains or in Texas. They really bounced around a lot.
This cult just sounds horrific. There's no plus here.
There's not a lot of like day-to-day joy.
No.
You
You've
wouldn't
given
think.
up everything that you love or like. You're moving around, waiting to die
To
or
get
for
to
a
heaven, I
UFO.
guess. I mean,
Well, there's no death involved at this point.
So you're just waiting around, not even a heaven, right? It's
Next
just it's
level
a UFO.
human.
The next who they don't know
So
even what that means.
So I guess under that promise, you'll put up with a lot of shit. Just like every religion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different than any other religion. Let's
but
be
not
honest.
but other religions aren't necessarily going to be this strict.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it separates from
Right.
cult to religion.
Today's episode of Necronomipod is brought to you by Beardology. There are a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one place I buy my beard oil. Beardology beard oil nourishes your skin and won't leave you with that greasy feel. With over 17 cents available in their extensive product line, I trust my beard to Beardology. You can find Beardology at beardology.co. Use code NECRO15 to receive 15% off your purchase. Beardology. Discover the best way to avoid the shave.
So they started, like you were saying, competing for stuff. They started ramping up that hierarchy, and they began to provide information to their followers only through writing. Like, they wouldn't even talk to their members. Sometimes they would give the privilege to a certain member to relay this information.
Oh, lucky for you.
Right. So
Right.
they were making them compete.
Yeah,
like,
eventually they started.
like dangling the carrot. And,
If you're really good and don't fuck people, you can be this person.
and
that-
keep clean shaven and don't
Yeah.
talk to your family.
Right.
They also started telling members that they were the only ones who spoke the truth in spirituality and in life. And interestingly, friendship was discouraged within the group.
Because friendship breeds honest conversations and questioning.
Yeah. I guess
authority.
I keep talking about Jonestown, but I found it interesting because everyone in Jonestown generally like loved each other, you know, but they didn't want anybody to be friends. And on top of cutting out the rest of the world, they often turned away new members. They were extremely paranoid.
That's different from most cults, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't really want new members. It's
Why
kind of
is that?
strange.
Why?
They thought that people would be infiltrating the cult. But like you said, nobody knows who the fuck they are.
So what
Right.
were Marshall and Bonnie getting out of this then? If
That's my question.
if
What's
it's
the end
only
game here?
80 people or so,
And it fluctuated. Sometimes it dropped all the way down to the teens.
and then what did
it
it
would
get
go
up to?
back
Like
up.
to 100 or so?
I
80?
think, yeah, at the most,
So
they
what
had
are they
70
getting
or 80.
out of it? Because they didn't have any really money at this point. Are they just liking the control over these few people and are smart enough to realize if we bring more in, we're going to be exposed? And I hate even using the term
terrible.
smart enough, but like, what are they getting? I guess they just really believe this.
And they're just living this delusional
They just
thing.
legitimately think this is real, and they want to just save it for the select few.
I think that's right. It's just a delusional thinking. It's not about money or power or anything. It's true believer stuff, which
Yeah.
is the most dangerous kind of people.
So members of the group were allowed to disobey if they wanted, and there was no punishments. But that's just like a false sense of choice, because you're not going to go against him or Bonnie because this person's promising you this evolution of your, this level above human.
You'll be the outcast.
So I can
Yeah.
be in this cult, but I could drink a 12-pack of Miller Lite every night.
That's up to you, but you're going to be the shitty person
Now
doing
you're talking
it.
to me like a shameful parent. Like, well, Mike, that's your choice.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's your choice.
It's really
But just
not a
remember
choice.
that in the end, you need to be a level above human.
Yeah, you and your beard and your empty fucking Miller Lite
Right.
bottles in the morning, they're all going to be looking at you.
Clearly,
frowning
after a
upon
few
you.
beers, I am a level below human. More than a few beers, I can hold my alcohol.
I hate this cult so much. Already. It's just nonsense.
At least they're not diddling kids like children of God.
That's true.
The end of 79 is where they get off the ground. They received a large sum of money, and it's believed that it was an inheritance received by one of the members who just donated it straight to the cult.
Sure, because you can't have possessions.
Right. They used this money to rent houses in Dallas, Texas, and the followers were split up between 3 houses, and of course Marshall and Bonnie had their own house.
Of course.
Because they're special.
And they started to micromanage members' time during the day down to the minute, just like giving them work to do and different things that had to do with learning the beliefs or practicing the beliefs, stuff like that. And if people didn't like the lifestyle, they were encouraged to leave, and they would actually give them financial help to get back on their feet.
Which, that's just so odd.
Yeah. They wanted true believers, and if you didn't believe, get the fuck out, and they'll help you.
It almost seems like they're not evil people.
Not yet.
Like they don't are they? And this is just
Well,
I'm
they
just kinda
are.
figuring this
They
out.
are, but
do they really believe this and really think they're helping people?
Yeah, it sounds like
Like,
they're
I
true
don't think-
believers, I think.
I don't think their intent is to brainwash people or hurt
Right.
people. But see, I don't know. That's not consistent though with the story of them kind of developing this cult and like spitballing and brainstorming what they believe in. Like if you believe in something, it's going to be clear what you believe in. And at the beginning, they were kind of trying to figure out how do we make Christianity and UFOs fit? What's the best, most likely story? But then when you hear stuff like this, it's like, well, what's their end game? They're not trying to get bigger.
Yeah.
They're trying to be. We want people who are committed.
But
I don't
when
know.
you're mentally ill and you convince yourself that you found the truth, I think all the other
So
ancillary stuff doesn't matter, and
Yeah.
you're focused on your main goal.
So you don't. It doesn't matter that they made up their belief system.
No, I don't think so. But once they developed it,
Once
they
they
said,
developed it.
"Eureka! We figured it
Right.
out. We're chosen."
Yeah.
just briefly, they introduced tests to their followers. They would tell them that a UFO is coming and have them stand outside all night to wait for it. And then when it didn't come, they would just tell them it was a test.
That's nice.
Oh, it's a test. Come on in.
I mean, it's better than Jonestown drinking what you think
You
is
were
poison.
salivating to talk about
I know,
Jonestown, man.
I'm-
You cannot wait for those episodes.
I know. But yeah, I mean, he would have them drink what they thought was poison. He would say, you have 45 minutes to live. And then he'd be like, nope, just a test. I wanted to see if you were
Jeez.
your true devotion to socialism, to revolutionary suicide. Through 82 and 83, Marshall and Bonnie became more relaxed on the cult methods. They allowed members to call their family members and visit them for a short time. It was mainly just to avoid negative press.
It's like some of the family were threatening to make trouble and stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the family members were actively trying to figure out what was going on. You know.
So this was their, hey, we're not a cult. Look at,
Yeah.
they get to go home.
I'll be honest, like if that was one of my kids, I probably would take a baseball bat and take it to Marshall Applewhite's fucking head.
But if your kid's telling you they're happy, like how do you? I don't know, how do you balance that? Like if they're telling you they're happy and then they believe in this, if that's your kid, I mean, what do you do?
You have to know something strange is going on when they won't talk to you.
I don't
you
disagree about that.
know? Yeah.
But if your kid's telling you they're happy, are you going to go attack the person that allegedly is making them happy?
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, still might.
I might.
And this is where shit hits the fan. By the end of 83, Bonnie had one of her eyes removed due to cancer that they had kept hidden from their followers. And then she died in 85.
Oh, she didn't see that coming? They're psychic?
He'd been sitting on that one. He's been sitting on that one. Is that a common thing? Do people have their eye removed still to this day from cancer?
I would think so.
I don't know.
That's terrible.
If you can't leave it in, you can't leave it in.
Sure. I mean, you just don't hear of like eye cancer, orbital cancer, anything like that. Oh, no, that's just terrible. I just
No,
didn't
yeah.
know.
35 years ago, though.
Well, that's why I was asking if
Yeah.
that was still a
I'm sure there's
common
been lots
practice.
of enhancements, yeah.
But it's awful.
So, I mean, that threw...
At the same time, it couldn't have happened to a worse person. So,
Well, this threw a huge wrench into the belief system because they always said that they were going to die and be resurrected and then go away on the UFO.
uh-oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
And Marshall Applewhite just lost his soulmate. He was very depressed over it. And he tried to explain her death to the followers that she had too much energy to remain on Earth and she abandoned her body to make the journey to the next level.
She couldn't wait. She couldn't wait. She had to go.
Too much energy.
But it's weird because he, got very depressed and then it almost seemed like he wanted to quit, but the followers encouraged him to keep it going.
So he wasn't even a leader himself. It was Bonnie who was the leader.
Yeah,
He was just a follower as well.
basically.
Just like the number 2.
Yeah. I mean, he takes it over, but it's at the...
But up till this point.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the followers encouraged him to keep it going. He, at this time, he adopted the belief that Bonnie was actually God and started calling her the Father. And then he referred to himself as Jesus.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So it started to get a little more extreme. And he was super paranoid at this time. And he got very strict with the cult methods again. He changed the idea that the group would ever physically ascend to the next level on a UFO. And then there was no way to say that anymore, that they would physically go that...
They couldn't.
Yeah, that Bonnie died. So now it was all focused on their spirit ascending. He said that in dying, you would receive a new alien body once you reached heaven, which he said heaven was actually an alien planet. He started to refer as the human body as a vehicle housing the spirit, which you see that in the tapes. He's always talking about the vehicle. And once you reach the level above human, you would die and your spirit would ascend in a UFO to its true alien body.
So you die, spirit goes up to a UFO, and that's going to take you to heaven.
Yep. And heaven's an
And
alien planet.
And that's where Bonnie is now, up
Yeah.
in the UFO.
Yep.
She's the head alien.
Yeah. Well, she's God now. She's
the father alien. It's very plausible, if you ask me.
And so, in the belief that he was the only one who knew the truth, he would say that Bonnie would speak to him, and I guess it would be telepathically.
Well, we tested telepathy a couple weeks ago. We failed that experiment.
Who did we test that with?
With you. I told you to pick a number between
right, it
1
was
and a
just me and
million. We couldn't do it.
I didn't know if that was one of your Olivia Wilde experiments. I was just trying to get her name dropped at least once.
Olivia Wilde is not going to win an Oscar anytime soon because she has yet to retweet us.
You know,
Oscar.
did you mention her last episode?
No.
You did not.
I don't think so.
First time ever. Maybe that curse now has also rid her of our podcast. No Academy Award and no more Necronomipod fame. We've done more for her career than she has in the last 6 weeks that we've been around. So, you know what? I think she's out. If you're going to join my cult, Dave, she's got to go.
We pick a new girl for our show?
Well, it's Britney Spears is obviously our official girl. That's already been established. It's Britney Spears. But if you want an unofficial girl, sure, by all means, pick someone.
So it's not important that our girl knows how to actually sing.
It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant.
All right, to be continued.
Think about it.
Check Twitter for a poll on who our new girl should be.
So he would be the only one to know if they reached that next level. And this basically gave him the power to say your spirit's ready to leave your body.
He's off the deep end of this point.
Yeah, it's getting real wild.
Derailed here.
So at this point, it's either suicide or Marshall dies and the group falls apart. I mean, that's the only end game here.
Yeah.
If he's the one that dictates when your spirit can leave your body, there's really nowhere else to go.
I know what my preference is.
By 93, the group had gone down to only having 26 members. To gain new members, they spent $30,000 to take out an ad in USA Today to warn of the apocalypse.
30 grand.
So this is the USA Today.
They let him take out this wild ass
People
ad.
are flipping through USA Today, good, average, regular, normal American citizens, and you see this fucking ad.
Maybe.
Does anyone read USA Today anymore?
I'm sure.
I still like USA Today. I don't really buy copies anymore.
I get it when it's free at my hotel room. I think that's
Well,
the last time I read it.
You stay at the fancy hotels.
I'm sure.
Kidding. They're at almost all the hotels.
I'm sure the price has gone up significantly from 93.
I think it maybe has gone down.
Print media?
Yeah, that's true.
I think it went down. Plus, you get that ink all over your hands. Man, fuck that.
Yeah. Fucking newspaper.
So did they get anyone? Like, did someone in, I don't know, Rhode Island go, whoa, apocalypse is coming?
Well,
Let me go find Marshall Applewhite.
yeah, they actually got 20 former members to rejoin the group. And his view of the apocalypse was that Earth was going to be recycled due to humanity being a failed experiment that was conducted by aliens.
That's plausible to me. I can get into that. Ancient alien stuff.
I love ancient
I
aliens,
love
so,
it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know if it's based in reality. It's very entertaining.
Right. Also, at this time, they settled on the final name, which was Heaven's Gate.
Oh, all the way in 1993.
Yeah.
We're almost 20 years into this thing.
Right. Marshall started to hint that suicide was a possibility for leaving their bodies for the next level.
This dude's looking for an out.
Uh-oh.
He knows he needs an out.
There's nowhere else to go.
He needs something out of this.
That's why I said Bonnie Nettles dying was shit hit the fan. In 1995, Marshall began focusing even more on getting rid of sexual desires, and they got the idea that castration would be the best way to go about that.
Heyo.
So when they couldn't find a doctor in the U.S. that was willing to do the procedure, they went down to Mexico and found a doctor, which
When in doubt, go to Mexico.
it just sounds so sketchy. Going to Mexico.
To get your sack cut off?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit.
There's a lot in that sentence that's sketchy.
He also started to teach that sexuality was one of the main factors in attaching their spirits to their physical bodies. So getting rid of sexual desires was one step closer to getting your spirit to leave.
Yeah, great.
And at this time, it's getting, like I said, he was getting very strict with stuff. Members started to dress the same and have the same haircuts, men and women. So they all kind of had this buzz cut thing going on.
So I looked at the video of some of this, and they all had Jim Carrey's haircut from Dumb and Dumber. I mean, talk about a cult where you don't want to fuck anyone. You got to see this video.
So that's different than a buzz cut.
Yeah,
then.
I
He had
didn't mean
like
buzz
the
cut.
bowl cut.
Yeah, it was all short.
It was a combination, but
Yeah.
that's what it reminded me of.
So a bowl cut, much like the Men in Black.
Maybe that little guy from Mary Hyer's office.
Right.
Joined
he
up.
had the bowl cut, right?
Yeah,
The little 5-foot guy, 5-foot Asian looking
Yeah.
man who was tan.
that was all pumped up about that pen.
Yeah.
I don't have my click.
That's
I don't
probably
have
how
my
he
click
laughed when she
pen.
gave him the clicky pen.
Right.
Didn't she give him a pen and he
Yeah.
got all hyper laughing and then ran away?
Yep.
Maybe after they left Point Pleasant, that they went and joined this Heaven's Gate cult.
It adds up.
So in November 1996, the group rented a mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California. And the mansion, even at that time, was worth well over $500,000. And when I was looking it up, it recently sold for $668,000, which was considered low for that area. For
Well, it's
that
outside of
neighborhood.
San Diego, right? I mean, that's a big area.
They became wealthy due to finding careers in web design, which at that time the internet was relatively new,
Yeah.
and most of them had like tech backgrounds, so they were racking in tons of money.
Which makes even less sense. Like analytical thinkers, programmers joining this cult.
Yeah, you said tech backgrounds are the people who are joining this.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Literally makes no sense.
That's just nuts.
So somewhere in between October and December of 96, they recorded 2 videos, one titled The Last Chance to Evacuate Earth, and the other video was Planet About to be Recycled. Your only chance to survive is to leave with us.
That's pretty specific.
It's a very long title. I prefer short ones, like Debbie Does Dallas, things like that.
Deep throat like that.
Right.
And those 2 tapes detailed their beliefs. Around this time, one of the members was listening to an episode of Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
All right. A friend of Necronomipod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
he had an amateur astronomer on that was taking pictures of the Hale-Bopp comet. The pictures looked like there was an object following behind the comet.
So accent on amateur.
Yeah,
the astronomer.
But, you know, I mean, Art Bell saw the opportunity and was like,
Of course, he's great at that.
yeah.
He got a lot of flack for what's about to happen here, like in, later on.
Art Bell got a lot of
He
flack.
got blamed for a lot of this.
Yeah.
Other people's stupidity, and he gets blamed for it.
Right. So the member that was listening to this went and told Marshall, like, hey, it looks like a UFO is following behind the Hale-Bopp comet. That's where Marshall saw us out and determined that object was actually a UFO, and Bonnie Nettles in her true form was aboard, ready to take them to the next level.
Did she get a new eye? So she's
Well, she's got an alien body
able
now.
to pilot this craft?
One eye, Dave. Just boom. Right there in the middle of the forehead.
In late March, they completely isolated themselves from everything. It sounded like they stopped working, just completely cut off the whole world, and recorded video farewell statements.
Which are really creepy.
Yeah.
And we're like I said before, we'll post those out.
Yeah,
We'll
they're sitting in
send
like
those.
white plastic lawn chairs,
Yeah.
right? If I remember correctly. Yeah.
send out
Interviewed two at a time with their wacky Odie names.
And this is essentially their suicide tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll send out the initiation video that they made, and then the farewell tapes.
Don't feel bad for us. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're better than you.
We're going to a better place. We're
Yeah,
smarter
we're
than
a
all
higher
you
level of
Earth
human.
schmucks.
Yeah, we're gonna go be with Tom Brady at the higher level.
The suicides began on March 22nd, 1997, and lasted over a course of 3 days. The members assisted each other in the suicides going in turn, and they killed themselves mixing barbiturates with applesauce and then washing it down with vodka. And then they placed a plastic bag over their heads to make sure it all
Yikes.
worked. Each member wore a matching black jumpsuit with the Heaven's Gate away team patches on the sleeve and black Nike Decade shoes. Which, interesting too, is Nike discontinued these right after this happened.
Why would they do that?
Probably a smart PR move.
Yeah.
The shoes were probably in case One-Eyed Bonnie couldn't see him and they had to run after the alien aircraft.
After they laid down in their beds with a plastic bag over their head, a small purple cover was placed over them. It covered their heads, like part of their chest and shoulders. There's pictures online, but I don't think we can get away with posting those.
Why not? Why do you say that?
I don't know if they'll...
Why don't we push the limits a little bit?
All right. I mean, there's nothing... You can't see anything or whatever. But
Yeah, there's substantial news for you from the video they took.
I believe so, yeah. All right. And in their pockets, each of them had a $5 bill and 3 quarters.
For the vending machines on the UFO, right? You can get some Cheez-Its and a Pepsi.
Some Doritos.
Yeah. I said Cheez-Its.
Sorry,
You said Doritos. That's fine.
I believe, if I'm correct, that when they left the mansion to go do stuff, each of them always took $5.75 with them.
It was in case they got arrested for loitering or something weird like that.
Yeah.
$5 fine for loitering, and then the quarters for the payphone.
I don't get why you would need it
I remember reading that.
So where did the suicides happen?
in the mansion.
The $500,000 mansion in Southern California.
Yeah, that's why it sold for so cheap. Marshall was the last of 4 members to die. 3 members helped him commit suicide, and then they killed themselves. And on March 26th, an anonymous tip was called into the police, and on arrival, they found a total of 39 bodies.
Jesus.
Former member Rio D'Angelo claims to have been the one that called in the tip. There were 2 members that weren't present that day, Wayne Cook and Charles Humphreys, and they killed themselves shortly after.
Oh, FOMO.
Yeah, one of them, I think it was Charles Humphrey, tried to kill himself, failed, and then tried again once he got out of the hospital, and then was successful. To this day, the website's still active.
So that gets us to, how did you get your research?
Right.
You did your due diligence. Your information came directly from them.
Yeah.
How?
So, yeah, I would say in 7th grade, I learned about this cult. And for years, if I get bored, I bounce on there and read some stuff. And about 5, well, it I'll say too, it creeps me out big time that it's still the same as it was when they left. It's got the red alert, Hale Bop is coming, flashing on it.
1990s website.
Oh yeah, star
Yeah,
background,
Which we have posted before from other episodes.
Yeah.
It's the same setup.
same UFO
And
website.
I'm sure we'll post it again.
About 5 years ago, I saw at the bottom it said contact us for information, and I sent I just was like, fuck it, I'll send an email to it and see what happens. And almost immediately I got a response back, which it creeped me the fuck out.
He was
'Cause
just
they're all supposed to
sitting
be
there
dead.
waiting.
Yeah, they're all supposed to be dead, right? And it said send $35 cash to this anonymous, or it didn't have an actual name on it. I think it was like Telecommunications or something like that, to this PO box, and they would send you all the information. And the person wouldn't give me their name or anything. It was completely anonymous. So I was like, fuck this. That's just weird to me. Like
Right.
It creeps me out. So then 2 years ago, Angie bought me it for my birthday, which she just went for it and sent the $35 out there. And sure enough, they sent me their full book and 2 VHS tapes, the 2 tapes that they had recorded.
So what's on the tapes?
It's the initiation tape, and basically just the full set of beliefs, Marshall Applewhite. The one you're gonna tweet out.
The initiation one,
Yeah.
which is like an 8-part
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
now.
it's all just detailing the belief system. But yeah, it's a
So wait,
pride.
they sent you a
That's fucked
VHS tape of stuff that's on YouTube?
Yeah. I had well, someone has it on YouTube now, but well, I mean,
but back then it
Well,
wasn't.
Dave, 2 years ago this wasn't on YouTube.
So do we think like the domain expired and someone just bought it for $2 and
But then what about the book?
collected
What about the book?
$35 from
What about a
people?
book?
yeah, I mean the book is legit. It has their logo on the spine of it and
Yeah.
everything.
Well,
wild.
yeah. So, but even still,
Someone's
someone
running
could
it.
have bought it. They're still sending out the same information that would have been sent out back then. Like, does that put more or less stock in it that someone
don't-
else might be sending?
I don't
out?
know.
I think that this Rio D'Angelo guy that says that he called in the tip is who's still running it to this day. I think
Why?
so. I've watched a couple shows with him, and it just sounds like he's still real into the belief
That makes
system.
sense.
So I do kind of think it's him. But yeah, I mean, whoever's running it is more than happy to spread the information still. And $35 cash.
And what was that website?
Heavensgate.com.
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
So I guess it was pretty hot. You know, they were in San Diego when they did this, and the bodies were in various stages of decomposition when
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
they couldn't even, do the first responders a favor and leave the fucking air condition turned on.
Would you buy this house, Dave? It's a mansion.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me at all.
That doesn't bother you?
Yeah, no.
You as well?
Not even a little bit.
Well, I know you'd fucking dig this shit. Oh,
My wife would not live in the house,
No.
but it doesn't bother me at all.
I would have to see the house.
Oh,
but
it's nice.
for a good. So what are we talking? Had this not happened, is this like a $2, $3, $4 million house
It's easily $1 million house, yeah.
now? And it's sold for how much recently?
668,000.
Which is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's a
But
for full blown
39
mansion.
people.
So yeah, I mean that's
Something
That's
interesting I
Heaven's Gate.
had forgotten from the news coverage, 20 years ago, is that Nichelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura on the original Star Trek, her brother was one of these suicide victims.
Really? I don't know who that is. I don't know the original Star
She's
Trek.
the attractive African American woman in the original Star Trek. I believe it was the first interracial kiss on network TV. Captain Kirk.
As before our time, Dave.
Well, it's before my time too, but I know fucking Star Trek, jackass.
Okay, so her brother was in the cult and was killed in
Yeah,
it?
yeah, he was. Yeah,
Well, that's something.
yeah, it's an unfortunate series of events there. I mean,
what makes so many seemingly bright people buy into this kind of garbage?
I think it's just years of initially believing it and going along with stuff, and then there's people too that you just gave up your whole life to it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You're
I
gonna
guess
follow it
I
through
guess
to the end.
they offered financial assistance, which is really rare,
They had
but
financial aid in this cult.
yeah.
Well, I think and this goes down a whole, I think, different rabbit hole of discussion and all that. But, religion provides people with a sense of comfort, the belief, the feeling that there's something to look forward to, the afterlife.
I think that's 100% right.
So these people were, in my opinion, struggling to find something, and they were convinced that this was what they needed in life, and so they dive into it. I mean, why else do you give up all these things why else do you give up all of these things for a belief system? You're obviously, you get a sense of comfort out of it, knowing that there's something for you in the afterlife. So,
Right.
Well, like we told you, Ian loves cults, and that was a pretty exhaustive look at the insane Heaven's Gate cult.
all right. So, Ian, you got anything else to add to Heaven's Gate?
Nope, that's it for Heaven's Gate. The one thing I wanted to plug, and we're not getting paid for it, but anybody looking for something new to watch that has to do with paranormal stuff, it's a story I never even heard of, is the Hellier documentary that's out. And you guys can go to hellier.tv. It's HELLIER.TV. It's an awesome series. That's all I got.
Awesome. Dave, what do you got for us?
I wanted to give some shout outs to some of our, followers and listeners that have been helping to spread the word. Especially Pod Van Dam. Check out their podcast. Estefania, Jesse Brown, Cindy May, Julissa, Ransack Leather, The Herbal Crime, Jess Elvis, Michigan Murder Music, Courtney the Bud Tender, and also our good friend Michelle B. Thanks for your support. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone who has maintained communication with us or has helped spread the word about our podcast. We really appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun doing this, so we hope you guys enjoy it too. Again, if you want to reach out to us, we are on Twitter and Instagram at Necronomipod. We also just launched a Facebook page, facebook.com/Necronomipod. So if you're on Facebook, give us a like. Spread the word about us however you can. We really appreciate it. And then again, just hit us up. Send us a message. Comment on our posts. Let us know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Any opinions you have. We really appreciate it.
You guys ready for a cool down beer?
Let's do it.
Ready to go.
Cheers.